Hey, Queen. Are you wondering the key to being resilient as an entrepreneur? Are you in entrepreneurship or considering entrepreneurship and want to make sure that you have what it takes to bounce back, to be resilient so that you can lead a successful business? Stay until the end of this video where we're going to explore the key to resilience and being a successful entrepreneur. Oh my goodness. Resilience and entrepreneurship. What a topic. What a topic. This is a mouthful, and I'm going to try to take a big bite out of this topic right here. I always love defining words. I think language is important. When I think about what it means to be resilient as an entrepreneur, I think we first have to define what resilience is. Too often, I think the reason why individuals fail in entrepreneurship is because they think failure is final, and they think that the task of entrepreneurship is to do things perfectly without setbacks. And the thing about entrepreneurship is that failure is a part of the journey. Like, strap in, you're gonna fail almost every damn day as an entrepreneur. Like, you are going to get feedback every day, you're gonna have major missteps, and if you are not ready for that, you are setting yourself up for failure. When we look at the very word resilience and what the definition of resilience means the ability to recover quickly. And just like most things, I think resilience is a muscle. It's a skill set that you develop. It's making sure that, okay, when something happens, all right, how do I bounce back? How do I recover quickly? This reminds me of Michael Jordan. I'm from Chicago. I'm like one of those kids that was young during Bulls, 96 Bulls, 6 Pete's. I was going to down to Chicago during Bulls rallies, and it was just during the highlight of the Bulls. If you don't like the Bulls, then click to the next video. But so anyways, back to the Bulls era. Like I was saying, I'm from 96 Bulls era. And so Jordan has this quote where he talks about how he missed more shots than most people ever take, and how that's been a key to his success. And I think that is a part of resilience. It's knowing that I'm going to miss so many shots, but I'm going to get out there and I'm going to keep taking them. And over time, my form is going to develop. The craft gets better the more that I put myself in the game. And I think so many entrepreneurs have this narrative of perfection that, oh, I have this idea. And when I put this idea out here, when I package it this way, if people don't buy from me the way that it's packaged, that I failed, pack it up, we're done. Or we had this idea for a campaign and we put this idea out there and it didn't resonate with people. So I failed, it's done, pack it up. When really entrepreneurship is an experiment. I don't care how many books you read about entrepreneurship. I don't care how many strategies you get. I don't care if the next person did 5 steps and you follow those 5 steps to a T. It's an experiment. We never know what exactly is going to work because regardless of what you're offering as an entrepreneur, it's people who are going to buy from you. And people change, their needs change, their ideas change, the market changes, which is just a fancy way of saying people change. And so you have to have that resilience, that ability to recover quickly. And I think a part of having resilience is just understanding that business is one big experiment. It is trying things, taking the data from what happens, calling audibles, making tweaks, and continually being open to change as an entrepreneur. I love the quote that talks about failure not being final. As an entrepreneur, one of the greatest growth that I've had has come from my failure. It's, oh my gosh, I did that. That was a monumental failure. What can I learn from that and how can I adapt? It makes me think about the recent pandemic. So many people were used to one way of doing business and the market shifted and what they were doing wasn't working anymore. And I think it created this massive opportunity for what I consider true leaders to show up because there were so many people who were impacted and they had to pack it up or they decided to pack it up because there were changes. And there were other people who said, what is the opportunity that this creates? What I used to do isn't working anymore, but how can I be innovative? How can I listen to the market? How can I be nimble and redefine the way that we do business to find success? And I know in my circle, leading the big money movement, we had countless women who had their best year yet in business during the pandemic. And I think that has to do with their resilience, like the ability to bounce back quickly. And when I say that, I don't think that means that you're immune to the bullshit, right? Like, it doesn't mean that things happen and you don't feel them. Like, I tell people all the time that speaking was a major lead generator for my business. And I'll never forget that week in March that every meeting planner started calling me to tell me that my speaking engagements were canceled. And I just went through a funk, right? I just went through a depression. We're a family of 5. I literally baked like 72 cookies. No, I didn't eat all 72 of them, but it's none of your business how many I did eat. But I ate a lot of I ate a lot of cookies. I shared them with my kids, but I just binged movies. I baked a bunch of cookies, and I just allowed my emotions to move through me. I think the word emotion, it has the word motion in it for a reason. Like, feel the feelings and let them move through you. But then after you process and feel those emotions and you're present with them and you journal with them and you document them, it's making sure that you don't get attached to the narrative. And once those emotions move through you, you're like, okay, whew, that didn't feel good. What's next? As a leader, how do I move on to the next? Which brings me to the key of what I think is the crux of resilience, which is decision making. As leaders, we're not going to get all of the things right, but the key is the ability to make a decision and to follow through on that decision, to see the outcomes of that decision, and then to discern what's the next decision that you're going to make. As a leader, whether you're a solopreneur or you're leading a team, it's decisions which drive the business forward. And I think it's knowing that failure isn't final and then committing to failing fast and failing forward. Okay, all right, it's a pandemic. All my speaking engagements are canceled. That was my plan for making money. What's next? I process the emotions. What's the next decision I'm going to make? All right, well, I have this platform, LinkedIn. I have visibility on LinkedIn. How do I turn to LinkedIn to maximize my visibility? And so I went all in on LinkedIn. This strategy that I knew for years, this place that I played full out on LinkedIn, but it wasn't my only strategy. During the pandemic, it became my saving grace because now everyone was isolated. Everyone, was quarantine? That's the word. All right, quarantine. Everyone was quarantining, so LinkedIn became my saving grace. And so when I think about what it means to be resilient as an entrepreneur, it means not attaching narratives to our failure, processing our emotions, and the ability to recover quickly and then make forward-thinking decisions. I think that's the key. I want to hear from you. What does resilience look like for you in your business? How do you practice resilience? Or what type of obstacles have knocked you down and forced you to be resilient? For all of us, I think the true mark of leadership are the scars, right? The battle wounds that we all hold. If you study entrepreneurs, and I'm one of those people that I'm just obsessed about reading autobiographies or biographies from other successful leaders, and there has not been one biography I've read where there hasn't been tremendous obstacles or trauma that leader has had to endure to get to the other side. I believe leadership and entrepreneurship is one of the most amazing journeys to embark on, but I also think it is one of the hardest. So we all have to be resilient. And just because you've stayed till the end of this video, I'm going to give you a bonus tip. I think that in isolation, entrepreneurship is very dangerous. And I think these false narratives come from isolation as an entrepreneur. The key to being resilient is not only your ability to recover quickly and to make forward-facing decisions, but I also believe it comes from community. I don't know any entrepreneur who's been successful in isolation. It's being able to normalize the journey and to be encouraged and inspired through the missteps. And that comes from other people who have been through the journey or who are in the trenches with you. So if you're looking for ways to be resilient, Surround yourself with others who are on the journey with you or who have been there, done that, so that you can talk about the things that you're going through and have other people to empower you, to encourage you, and to hold space for you along the way. There is a real risk of mental health when it comes to entrepreneurship that I don't know that we talk enough about. Like, we glamorize, like, I'm a boss and I'm a leader, and we don't talk enough about the responsibilities of that. And so, as an entrepreneur, if you're listening to this, I just want to advocate for therapy, for community, and for doing the things that are necessary so that you can maintain positive mental health and have relationships that edify you. If you're looking for more strategies to land 5- and 6-figure corporate clients, you can sign up for my advanced private training at thebigmoneymovement.com. Or if you're looking for language to engage with executive buyers, go to corporateclientscripts.com. I want to hear from you. How do you define resilience, and what have been your challenges along the way? Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video, and I have another video for you on entrepreneurship. You can click here where we talk about 6 goal-setting tips for entrepreneurs. Follow, like, subscribe, and click the notification so that you know when we drop our latest videos. This is LizJSimpson signing off. Bye. Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. 6 goal-setting tips for entrepreneurs. Click on it right now.